directions. Men don't ask for directions. Geoff Kinsela.
Thank you. So tonight's speech is more directed at men. So fellas, can you remember a time when you went driving in the country, overseas, anywhere in particular, and even though you might have been lost, you had no idea where you're going, you refused to ask for directions? This is me. I refuse to ask for directions. I'm also a terrible navigator. I'm the kind of guy, and I'll admit it here, I'm the person that turns the street directory in the direction of travel. You don't have this issue anymore because those little gadgets on your phone, you know, you just turn them, even though you don't need to, because your little Siri or your Apple Maps or your Google Maps tells you where you're going. I also had many, many heated arguments with my girlfriend, my wife at the time, often resulting in changing of driving and who was going to drive, who was going to ask for questions. So I guess in all of that, fellas, if we're not going to ask for something as simple as directions, when we really need help, are we going to ask for it? And the answer is no. We're terrible at it. I've been down this path. I've been down Anxiety Street. I was on overdrive, and I was fast heading towards a hill that I couldn't climb. And I crashed and burned, not in the car, just driving myself, to the point where anxiety built up so much in my body that I was having chest pain, breathing issues, I was checking my pulse, I was scared to go to sleep at night because I was worried I was going to die. And this is a true story. It's really happened to me. I would be laying on my bed at night just listening to myself going, am I breathing? Is that right? Is that shallow? Is that deep? Is that correct? All this was going on in my head, obviously. Not to mention I was 24/7 on call for mining companies. I was going, with breathing issues and chest pain, I was going kilometres in under the earth into coal mines, often with no light, no dust, as Doug can understand. A lot of situations going on there. And every 6 months we'd also have to do emergency training, where they put you into tunnels, make you wear masks, oxygen tanks, drill you in the dark where you can't see this far in front of you. This did me in. That was the final straw. I couldn't drive home. I literally could not drive my own car home from work, to the point where I eventually did drive home, or my wife came in and got me and we went home. And I went and saw the doctor gave me some tablets, and then I read the side effects of the tablets, and it said may have breathing issues, so I wouldn't take them. It was just this cluster of just loops of infinity. And eventually I went and saw a psychologist, and he said to me, Geoff, he says, what's your life like? And I said, it's pretty normal. Just an ordinary old bloke, couple of kids, 3-bedroom house, a mortgage, whatever, go to work. Then he started chatting to me, and he's drilled down, he goes, right, I will stop about there. He says, let me summarise. Your son has autism and a speech disability. You've had to come to grips with that. I said, yeah, that's all right, I've got to come to grips with that. And he said, your daughter nearly died at 7 weeks old. I said, yeah, that was ages ago. And he goes, your wife went through post-traumatic stress due to that. And I said, yeah, but that's all over. And he says, and you've been on 24/7 on call for coal mines and customers when things go wrong. I said, yeah, that's okay. And he goes, that's enough, man. That's heaps. You know, like that is plenty. He goes, I bet you are the kind of guy that when you're going to the bathroom, he says, you're pushing the button before you finished your business. And I cracked up laughing. I literally lost it because it was true. It was true. I did it. I was doing it. And he goes, why are you doing it? I said, it's efficient. It's efficient, okay? And he goes, does that 2.1 seconds really matter? And I went, no, I suppose it doesn't, but it was efficient, you know. And why am I telling you all this? Is it to get it off my chest? Yes, a little bit, but is it also okay? I tell you for the same reason I've told people I work with, my colleagues, my friends, and some of my family. I've been quite open about what happened to me, and I got through it. It was pretty good. I'm very, very lucky. Some don't. And I tell you for the same reason, because men don't ask questions. We won't ask for help. If you ask us, do we need help? We'll tell you no. We'll say we're fine. Now, if I asked my wife if she was fine and she said she was fine, I'd know she's not fine, but we will just be happy. Oh, he said he's okay. All right, no, it's cool. So, but what I have found is when I tell my story first, others tell their story second. And I have heard the most amazing stories, especially from the people I work with in the mining industry and everywhere, in the tunnelling industry, that they've been able to share. And I think it makes them feel less vulnerable if you go first. So I tell my story, and they come out and they go, oh, you know, we've been through this, and this happened to us. And you kind of go, wow, never would have known. Never would have known. Never would have asked you. Didn't even know there was a problem. And it's just this amazing connection of when we tell our stories, others feel more likely to tell their stories. So I guess, in summary, men won't ask for directions. We won't ask for help. We're arrogant, we're ignorant, and we're stubborn. But let's not be selfish. Let's share our stories. Thank you.